Hello, broadcasters. Welcome to episode 160 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. My name is Geige, and I'm here with Dan, of course. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. It's been a good week. For anyone new here, Dan and I are the founders of StreamYard. We do these town halls every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific. We do them for a few reasons. One is to stay in tune with all of you, go through the same flow that you all do with your own shows. Two is to answer any of your questions. So if there's anything, any topics or questions you'd like us to touch on tonight, feel free to leave them in the chat. We'll do our best to get to all of them. We love discussing things with all of you. And then I always mention the three pillars of StreamYard, which are ease of use, stability, and professional streams. So if you're about those three things, StreamYard is the tool for you. Lots of awesome people hanging out in the chat from tonight from all over the world, or this morning, wherever you are. We've got Kentucky, Memphis, Nevada. Very cool. Before I forget, we have lots of awesome shows. Let me quickly run through those. We've got the StreamYard Spotlight, the second Thursday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is a show featuring you guys and how you're having success with live streaming. So if you're looking for inspiration to see how other people are using the tool and having success, definitely check that out. Or if you'd like to be featured, feel free to reach out to Dana. Just email contact@streamyard.com. They can slot you in. We have YouTube channel reviews with Dee and Daniel the second Saturday of every month. Really great show, especially if you're looking to grow on YouTube. And it's not just live streaming. If you're just trying to grow a YouTube channel in general, they have lots of great actionable advice when it comes to things like descriptions, picking your thumbnails, how often to post content, anything you can imagine that you might be interested in for having success with YouTube. They will be covering. We have Enhance Your Live Streaming the last Tuesday of every month with Nick Nimmin. Definitely a pro in the live streaming space. He has awesome advice. So specifically for live streaming, if you're looking for tips there, great one to attend. And then also we have live stream reviews the first and third Saturday at noon PST with Christian and Charles. It's a fun show where it's a live stream where they do live reviews of other live streams. It's a lot of fun. And then for any other additional questions, we have open office hours with Julie and Mel, 11 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday, the first and third week. And that happens in the Facebook group. And one thing we've been doing for fun for a while now is for you to get to know a little bit more fun facts about us and for us to know more about you. Please answer if you like in the chat. Our fun fact for this week was favorite movie villain. What's your favorite movie villain, Dan?
I love this question. It is a fun one. Yeah, it's tricky, right? I think for me, favorite movie villain, I think you can call him a villain. It is like a comedy type movie, but I would still say he's a villain. Dr. Evil is my favorite movie villain from Austin Powers. How about you?
The Pinky. It's definitely a memorable character. It's a tough one. I feel like most of them, they try to purposely make them not like super redeemable characters. But
favorite is a weird word when you're talking about villains. But
I think my favorite one, not because of the personality trait, but just because of how awesome the acting was and how much I liked the movie, was the Joker, just mostly because of the Dark Knight and how good Heath Ledger was in that movie.
Good. Cool.
All right. I think we got some questions in the chat. Let's see here. Dave says, "Hi guys, discovered today that I could use an NDI video source as my camera. Is it possible to share an NDI source so that it could be big screen and each layout similar to shared screen?"
Interesting.
So like you said, you can use any source you like as your main camera. We actually, it's part of the agenda tonight, so we'll touch on it specifically when we get there. But I'll mention it because we did mention it briefly last time. We are launching a additional camera feature this week. We'll be doing a very quick overview of it in a bit here. But that would be another way to accomplish what you're trying to do there, is using that additional quote unquote camera, but you could use a separate video source, and that would be one way to get in multiple feeds. It wouldn't behave exactly like the screen share though, right, Dan? It would be
right. It behaves like another camera.
So sorry, go ahead, Dan.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I'd be curious which layout specifically, because obviously, like, we'll just switch to this layout here. So you can do this one now where like Geige could be your NDI camera, and then maybe I would be, some other camera you have or a guest or something. That's an option. So you can kind of do that one. You can't do the picture-in-picture one. So if that's the one you're hoping for, maybe let us know.
Absolutely. We also have SoCal says, we love hotkeys. Is it possible to set hotkeys for overlays, videos, backgrounds using their position orders in the brand selection? Do you want to take that one, Dan?
Cool. So not right now, as you're probably aware. That is something we're very interested in doing, though, and it's something we're already kind of exploring, and we just want to make sure we do it in a way that's kind of as flexible as possible and works for you. But yeah, it's something we're actively looking into. I don't know if it would be based on sort order, if you would bind hotkeys to specific overlays regardless of where they are in the order. There's a few different ways we've considered, but yeah, very open to adding more hotkeys in general.
There's lots of awesome villains in the chat. I forgot how many awesome villains there are out there.
Yeah, there's definitely colorful. Like,
yeah, they're often quite memorable. It's awesome to have you here, George. Congrats on starting your stream. Karen says, question, can you add a feature to switch to a new tab once you are in the share screen feature / Chrome tab?
Yeah. So the answer is sort of yes. We actually used to have that, I believe, back in the day when Chrome used to require apps to have an extension to share their screen, and we actually did flip people back to StreamYard as soon as you shared a tab, which is not necessarily the preferred behavior. It's probably better to have a setting like you said. We don't have that now because Chrome no longer needs an extension, and we don't have the ability to change your tab. Like, that's just something we're not allowed to do in the browser, is change which tab you're looking at. So right now, no. But yeah, interesting. And I'd also be curious what type of stuff you're sharing where you'd want to do that. Because I know in some cases, like I said, sometimes you would want to actually be looking at that tab because you might need to be clicking around. Other times you don't want to be.
Cool. Nice to see you here, Barb. Hope it looks good on the phone. Awesome. Glad to hear that you're looking forward to that. Jenny, I'll do a screen share in a second here, walking through it. Awesome. Glad it worked well for you, Oral. Cliff says, hello, I tried using a countdown timer GIF, but how do I get it to be transparent? I saw that was listed on your branding. So you definitely can make it transparent. I think how you do it is going to depend on like what program you're using to make the GIF, Cliff. So maybe if you let us know that, us or someone in the chat could help. But usually, again, depending on the software, there's some setting where you can essentially make the background transparent.
Yep. That's right. Yeah. Both PNGs and GIFs. You can fully get rid of the background.
Amy says, are backstage comms on your development roadmap yet? We have an annual event coming up where that would be really handy. Yes, backstage comms definitely comes up frequently, Amy, so definitely understand the need. It's something that we're exploring. So yes, it is actively being explored, and a version of it is on the roadmap. I'd be curious specifically how extensive you'd need those comms to be. Like, obviously we have a very basic version now that is the private chat. But to what extent, would you want full on video communication backstage, just the audio? Would be curious what level of communication is necessary for you.
Yep.
Marina says, can you possibly put a feature for others to be able to download our past broadcasts similar to Google Drive where specific permissions can be given? Cool. So we don't have super granular permissions, Marina, but you are able to add other folks to your account now with StreamYard Teams. So you can invite someone onto your account as an admin, and they will be able to download the past broadcasts. Right now, the only option is like admin or co-host. Co-host would not be able to download the past broadcasts. I'd be curious what level of permissions you'd need beyond that. It'd be good for us to know, but we're certainly open to giving more flexibility there.
Yep. Yeah, and also how many people? Like, this is just one other person, like someone you work with or do a show with. Do you want to have the ability to do it, or is it like you want all of your audience to be able to do it? That'd be useful to know as well.
Cool. I like the channel name, Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life. I'm still not a hotkey person, but my husband is, since it works well with his talking software. So thanks. Awesome. Super happy to hear that.
Cool.
Freedom Patriot Network says, would StreamYard please offer a way to share an embed code with screen share? I have a list of other live streamers that use StreamYard for the same conference I do. Awesome. Yeah, that's a good question. Freedom, do you have any thoughts on that one, Dan?
So just to confirm I'm understanding, embed code meaning?
I think it's like an iframe, like the ability to, like if you had a web page where you wanted to share something dynamic.
So not right now. I'm open to it if we can achieve it within a browser. Many things are possible. So that could be possible. It's not on our roadmap right now. But it's a cool idea. That's definitely something we've heard before. Assuming what Geige said is what you're thinking, like you can kind of choose a chunk of a web page or a web page to show without actually having to do like a normal screen share. But let us know if that's not what you're thinking, if it's something different.
Cool. Dave says, thanks for the answer. Of course, with the second camera, could the NDI source be extra big with the 4 or 5 guests all much smaller on the side of the side? I'm loving StreamYard. Thanks. So yeah, right then that would be the similar to, let me just pull it up really quick. It'd be like this. So you could have me as the NDI video source and Dan and anyone else as a guest along the side there.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Lots of questions tonight. Zev says, can I download a Stream Deck app to be using with StreamYard on my phone or tablet? If so, what would you recommend? So that was actually, let's just jump to that one because that was one of our questions tonight was the Stream Deck. So I know once we had hotkeys, a lot of folks were excited about using it with the Stream Deck, but we still don't have like an actual app in the Stream Deck store or an integration. So we're just curious how many of you would find that useful and what type of stuff you'd want that app to have that's missing right now without the app. Anything to add there, Dan? Did that?
No.
After that?
I think that's pretty much the same question I have.
Cool. So yeah, let us know that. And then the other one, get to a few more questions here because we have a lot, but we wanted to also, last time we mentioned some new features that we launched. So curious if any of you have tried them. As a reminder, let me just quickly mention what they were. So we launched last week was background music, which we're super excited about. And then also collapsible brands as well. So in the brand section, do you want to just share your screen really quick, Dan, as a refresher of where they are and how they look?
I can do that. Let's play some background music while we're waiting this one.
What's this one?
This is the first one.
Cool.
1 second. It's covered. I can't tell you what it's called yet.
So right now that Dan just started playing the background music feature, which you can find in the brand section.
It was this one, acoustic cinematic.
Cool.
Okay. So yeah, the collapsible brand sections, as Geige said. Basically, if maybe you don't care about background music or you don't care about backgrounds and you really only want to show video clips, you can just collapse other sections. So you'd pretty much get rid of everything and just focus in on video clips, for example. So just an ease of use thing, all about ease of use, and this definitely helps with that. Because I find in general, most people aren't playing with absolutely everything in this tab. Like, for example, theme, you usually won't need to change. Might as well just collapse that one. Probably don't need to change brand color. Maybe you only care about changing overlays and video clips. Just keep those two open. Less going on. Maybe partway through the show, you've finished showing all your video clips. You can collapse that section and then just focus on the overlays. Just a quality of life improvement, I would say.
Cool. And then you can see the collapsible brands there as well.
That's what I was just talking about. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Background music also here. That one I did not talk about. So background music, you can just play any song in here. As we mentioned last week, right now you can't upload your own. It's just copyright-free music that we provided. We've tried to give enough variety, but obviously open to adding more and eventually allowing uploading as long as we can do it in a way where we try to reduce your likelihood of having copyright issues. Like right now, you won't have any copyright issues because we've made sure these tracks are all made by us, totally fine to use.
Cool. All right, let's see here. Dave says, let's see here, Dave. Will there be a feature added that will allow my producer or team admin to comment to the YouTube chat and not show up as me, the account owner? So that's definitely something we'd love to add. Dave, do you want to speak a bit, Dan, about how we're thinking about that one?
So yes, definitely. We've been open to that one for a while, even before team accounts, like maybe allowing guests to do that. So yes, we're open to that. Right now, obviously, you can't do that, but it is possible to do. So it's something we're very open to. It just depends how many people would want that and prioritizing it against other things. But yes, it's possible, and yes, we're open to it. I do think it's useful still. Like maybe we'd want to have the option because I think it's still useful for maybe you and your team member are both admins on your account, for both of you to be able to post a comment, ask the, let's say, YouTube channel in this case that created the stream, because maybe there's more authority around that. But then you can also kind of post ask yourself as well separately, and it's different across each platform, which obviously makes it tricky. Like YouTube and Facebook, or like Facebook is more likely to want to do that. Maybe you post ask your personal profile to a page or something, whereas the YouTube channel, maybe you don't even have your own YouTube channel or your guest doesn't. So yeah, there's some things we need to think about and handle, but it's possible and we're open to it.
Cool. All right, let's see what else we have here. I guess before, I want to make sure we don't run out of time. Do you want to quickly share your screen, Dan, and chat about the other thing that was released recently, which is new backgrounds?
Cool. Yeah, let me do that.
So I don't think we mentioned it last time, but this is live now, right, Dan?
It is, yes.
So now, just in case that you don't, you just want something easy to do for your background, and maybe you don't have the time to make your own. We added this ability to, if Dan clicks it there, to choose one of our defaults. So our designers made a bunch of awesome backgrounds here. So if you just click one of those, it'll go into your background section, and then you'll be able to use it as your own background. So yeah, hopefully it's a useful feature for you guys. Let us know if there's any certain types of backgrounds you feel like are missing or that you'd like us to add. Let us know.
Cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan, just because it is tricky to have the design. Most people don't have design resources to do stuff. You don't necessarily know what might look good, but yeah, you can probably pick one like, ooh, this one's really on brand for me. Let me try that one. They've got some cool names to them as well, which is probably my favorite part.
Awesome. All right. Cliff says, will we be able to add our own background music soon? So we don't have a date for you, Cliff, but definitely something that we anticipated and we knew people would want. We just wanted to get this version out quick and wanted to make sure that we handled any sort of copyright stuff carefully. But it is something we're exploring and that we would like to add.
Yep.
Eric says, love the ease of switching between layouts, but could we please have the option of cutting to each layout instead of animating between them? The transitions sometime are a challenge to work with if you do any editing to the recorded file.
Cool.
Any thoughts on that one, Dan?
Yeah, I'm open to having a setting for that, I would say. We're always trying to keep the number of settings to a minimum just so the product stays really easy to use. Like it's easy to jump in and just add a setting for everything. But yeah, I'd be open to that one. I get the need. It makes sense, especially with editing.
Cool. The Only Mel Cruz says, can we make it optional for which side we can access the branding and comments from? I'm left-handed and would appreciate that. That's a good point. Mel, do you have any thoughts on that one, Dan?
Yeah, it's an interesting use case. I appreciate that you kind of mentioned why you'd want it as well. So yeah, open to, like, I think we mentioned this before. We're very open to just thinking through ways to kind of make things more accessible, change things up. So some customization while still making sure that it's easy no matter what the setup kind of is. So yeah, we're open to things like that. Maybe it'll be even more flexible than that. I'm not sure, but it's something we're like just starting to explore right now.
Blind Guy says, are there any kudos for us diehard StreamYard fans? We love the constant upgrades. Thanks. Of course, let us know how we can give you more kudos. We obviously love all of you. It's awesome interacting with you during these shows. And yeah, can't thank you enough for the fact that you guys use the product and give us feedback. Makes it all worthwhile. So absolutely, kudos. Beyond verbal kudos. If there's anything else we can do for you, let us know.
Cool.
Tamika says, on mobile, is there a way to see private chat on the same screen as those on the broadcast? So if you're on full screen, it behaves slightly differently, right, Dan?
So right now, yeah, the private chat for guests. So I guess my first question, Tamika, would be, is this for a host or a guest? Like, are you hosting the broadcast or is it the guests that are having challenges there? That'd be my first question, just thinking about how we might want to do this. But also just to follow up, is the question like you'd like to see the broadcast itself and then also the private chat in the same way where on mobile as a host, you can see the broadcast and the public comments? Is it like you just want to switch that for the private chat instead of it covering the whole screen with like a pop-up? Maybe if you could let us know.
Cool. All right, we have tons of questions, but I want to make sure that I get to the announcement for tonight. So let me quickly mention that and then show how it works. So we do have multiple cameras coming this week. So it's not out yet, but it's on for me, so I'll be able to demo it for you. So you'll have the ability to add an additional camera, which we hope is a great fit for people that are doing things like an art stream, or you want to see a different camera angle of what you're working on, or maybe you're in a studio and you just want to show a cool additional angle. If there's other ways you're using it that are more creative than what I can come up with, let me know.
Anything in person is a pretty big use case. So like if you're at an event or something, you want to have like a camera on the stage and another one on like a close up of the speaker or a different speaker or a different part of the stage. I think that's a cool use case as well.
So I'll just share my screen really quick. So if you go into, if you're in the studio and you go to the bottom, you'll see the share option. And again, it won't be on yet, but sometime this week, you'll see this additional option before or after slides that says extra camera. And if you click that, you will see a pop-up. I don't actually have I only have my single webcam plugged in right now. But it, like we mentioned, like that came up earlier with the NDI sources, if you do have virtual cameras and things like that, those will also be options to choose from, which is why you see this snap camera on there. And if you just click share, it'll just appear as, I'll just go ahead and do it really quick. If you just click share, it'll appear as another video source that you can include on screen. So not a super exciting camera source. Maybe next time I'll include I'll plug in another camera so you guys can see another angle. But yeah, hopefully that opens up some new possibilities. It's been requested for a while now, so excited to add it. I'll just go ahead and stop it. One thing to note is that let me stop sharing the screen. Is that for right now it won't be including an additional audio source. It'll just be the video from that camera to make sure there's no sort of echo or any confusion with audio there. If that's the right way, that's the way you'd want it to work, let us know. I'd be curious if there's any use cases where you actually would want the audio source. But yeah, hopefully you guys are excited about that. We'll be curious to see your streams with it.
Cool. Yeah, definitely opens up a lot of possibilities.
All right. Let's see here. Thanks for the clarification there, Amy. Mostly just the audio is necessary for communication backstage. Good to know. Cool. Hey, Sebastian, hope you're doing well. Could you please include more uplifting and high energy music options? Most of them are really slow, gloomy. I appreciate the feedback, Sebastian. We'll definitely take that into consideration and hopefully add some more, uplifting vibe type music. Cool.
Yeah, just because it's background music, we want to make it like very subtle, not too in your face, but I get it. I'm sure there's a way to do both.
Mr. Fulton says, my camera has a black screen on my new phone. I was supposed to go on a panel, but nobody saw me. So best suggestion for that, Mr. Fulton, would be to reach out to support. If you go to StreamYard.com/contact, there's a live chat there. They can help troubleshoot. Best guess is that maybe it's using the wrong camera or something like that, but support is going to be your best bet for that.
Yeah, once in a while too, especially on mobile devices, like the operating system, say it's Android or iOS, can kind of like prevent your browser from accessing the camera, and a restart will usually fix that. So you can just start with restarting, and if that doesn't work, reach out to the support team.
Cool.
And also, if it's a new phone, it could be like a permissions thing. Maybe there's somewhere in the settings you need to like allow the browser to access the camera.
All right, let's see what else we have here. Maybe a couple more questions, then we got to do our giveaway. Friend says, have you considered adding a hotkey to mute and unmute all guests? Do you have any thoughts on that one, Dan?
That's interesting. We've considered it briefly. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I would definitely be open to that.
Cool. So stay tuned, friend. Interesting. There's another comment about moving the chat from one side to the other. So certainly something we're open to and can explore, giving more flexibility in terms of what people want to do with the sections on the right there. SoCal says, answer the Stream Deck question. I appreciate that. Maybe have all the StreamYard hotkey options as a template, and then we can customize them later. We use the Stream Deck XL with several pages with each profile. Good to know. Thanks for letting us know, SoCal.
Cool.
David says, I got my friend hooked on StreamYard. He's actually going to be co-hosting my podcast with the admin feature this Wednesday night at 8 p.m. with Tag Team Wrestling guests. That's awesome, David. Super happy to hear that. Hope it goes well. That's awesome.
Cool.
All right, Dan, should we go ahead and do the giveaway for tonight?
We should.
Awesome, Tanya, glad you're a fan of it. All right, a lot of entries already. So for anyone new here, we do these giveaways every Sunday. So if you just type in #TheYard, you'll be eligible to win. And tonight we'll be giving away StreamYard sweater just like this one, and that pillow that Dan has in the background there. Hopefully a fun prop. And for anyone unfamiliar with this tool, we actually made it publicly available. So if you ever want to do your own giveaway, like give away, maybe a book or a course or swag or whatever you want to give away, if you go to StreamYard.com/giveaway, while you're in another tab while you're live, you'll actually be able to use this tool the exact same way that we're using it right now.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks for that. So we'll give you, like 30 seconds or so here to get your hashtag the yards in. Maybe have time for a couple more questions here. See a few more requests for uploading music. Definitely something we're exploring. Gotti says, any chance we can get a screen share option, but only me and my co-host can see it? Would be great for watch alongs that we don't want to show up on Facebook/YouTube, for example. That's an interesting one, Gotti. I've never thought of that. It definitely makes sense. I don't think we've actually got it requested before. But yeah, it's a popular format on YouTube, sort of like the watch along, but you don't, obviously for copyright reasons, want the video on there. We'll think about it. Leave it with us. We'll think about how that could work. I'm trying to think if there's any sort of
it has like a separate tab or
alternative, but I can't actually think of a good way to work around it at the moment, other than I guess you could have like another StreamYard studio and you could both be in a second StreamYard studio, but it's definitely a bit confusing.
Yeah, you'll get echo as well.
Yeah. But yeah, appreciate the suggestion, Gotti.
Cool.
Let's see. Karen says, question, can a feature be added where you can permanently hide someone that is added to the stream, but you don't want them to show when switching layouts? So we do have a version of that, Karen, in the settings. I don't know if it would fit what you need exactly, but if you go into, which section is it in again, Dan?
Just the general section.
In the general section, there's a setting that says
audio avatars.
Audio avatars.
Yeah, so basically, if someone turns their camera off and you have that setting off, they'll just be hidden. So if you want someone to be fully hidden, and they're basically ask them to turn their camera off, and then as long as you turn that setting off, because I don't know if you've seen what it looks like now. Usually on StreamYard, if you turn your camera off, there's a little avatar that shows up. If you get rid of the audio avatar setting, if you turn that off, and then they turn off their camera, they'll just be gone. Like you'll still hear them, they're still there, but you won't see them anywhere. So that would be the kind of the way to do that now. Ready to do the giveaway?
Yes, let's do it.
Cool. So you said, sorry, a pillow and the
StreamYard sweater.
Cool. Perfect. Good luck, everyone.
Leslie, congrats. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. If you email contact@StreamYard.com, Dana can coordinate with you to get your info and ship you your brand new StreamYard sweater and the StreamYard pillow. But yeah, thanks so much for watching and congrats again.
Cool. Congrats, Leslie.
And with that said, this Town Hall went by quick. This was episode 160 of the StreamYard Live Town Hall. There were lots of questions that we didn't get to, so we'll go back through the chat and find the most common ones to bring up next time. But if we missed your question, sorry about that, but hopefully we can get to it next show. Let me pull it up here. But yeah, thank you guys again. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. We'll see you next week at the same time, Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Cool. See you next week, everyone.